important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. And let me tell you, I love numbers. 1040s, 1099s, W-2s, all of them. With TaxSlayer, anyone can file a federal return for just $22.99. You'll get 100% accuracy and your biggest possible refund guaranteed. Now those are great numbers. Need help along the way? We've got US-based real human support. File by February 8th for just $22.99 and get the refund you deserve. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome into Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. Glad to be with you here on a Tuesday. I'm glad to be back after a few days out. Thanks to Jackson Schneider for holding things down for me. We've got a busy show for you today. Busy news. Outside of crowning Indiana as the national champion of college football, we have a busy night of college basketball tonight for KU and K-State. Wyatt Thompson, voice of the K-State Wildcats, joins us here in just a few minutes to look ahead to K-State's game, get the latest on the football program, the Dylan Edwards news. We'll have all that. And, of course, now a situation with Kansas that we're watching closely in regards to their trip to Colorado without head coach Bill Self, who out of an abundance of caution for medical reasons will not be with the team today. So we'll get the latest on all of that. It's coming to you here over the next little while. And it's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, celebrating National Cheese Lovers Day today, January 20th, with $5 dine-in cheese pizzas with purchase of a qualifying drink. That's at any Wichita Brewing Company location, any of the 3 locations. Pizza and beer made here. We will get you on the phone lines at 869-1240. We will get your video comments via YouTube, X, Facebook. Thanks for watching on 12 News Connected. Thanks for listening to us on the Odyssey app. I'm with TJ Cleveland this morning. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jacob. You did not miss much, let me tell you, since you've been gone. Only Dylan Edwards switching sides in the Sunflower Showdown and breaking Bill Self news.
Yeah, it's it always happens. It's always it just is. It's uncanny. This how we joke about this in the business all the time. You leave, and then not only that, like we essentially get breaking Bill Self news while I'm on an airplane and can't help with the process of like understanding exactly what's happening. And I land, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. God, I hate seeing this, man. I hate seeing this, and I worry about it all the time because it takes a minute to get through this stuff. We've seen Paul Mills deal with something like this. And all I can remember, of course, because it's like etched into your brain is, when I'm a young teenager, my dad going through some of this stuff. And it took a few tries to get it right. And then he was good for a long time. And so you just hope and you pray that Bill Self is okay and that everything is going to be fine. But, I'm traveling across the country in and out of airports all day yesterday, TJ. So we'll get to more of this later, but walk us through a little bit of what happened yesterday and kind of a timeline of things and where we stand here this morning.
Yeah, basically, yesterday we get breaking news, from KU Athletics. Nobody really kind of knew about it. They released a statement at, 6:45, right about 7 o'clock that, he was admitted into the hospital there in Lawrence, and we've kind of received, statements like this in the past couple of years. They're all been a little different, but basically they let you know Bill Self is in the hospital so that nobody, skews the story or anything like that. He's in the hospital. They said he was feeling under the weather, received some IVs, is feeling much better, but the team already left for Boulder for their game against Colorado tonight. So Bill Self won't be on the sidelines. First time since he missed the NCAA tournament back in 2023.
Yeah, it's really hard because it's hard, history. And we know, and we were quickly told, and people, pointed out it. He left practice, and it was for a call of something to do with the chest. So, we're trying to. It's hard because it's a very public facing story and a very public facing situation, and you want to, be careful with that stuff. But at the same time, people want to know what's going on. So, at the end of the day, we know that Bill Self has had some issues in the past that have cost him, in the NCAA tournament run and some other things. So at the end of the day, we just hope that he's fine. Hopefully this is an abundance of caution. And it should be, by the way, when there's a history of this and everything's okay. And here's what I would also hope for. If it's not, that it can be quickly. Now, I know that this happens a lot because it's happened to family and other people I've known. Like it comes quick, and then there are quick ways to get through it. The way, Paul Mills got through it, the procedure and things, like sometimes you don't find everything. Sometimes other parts of that, heart can be giving you problems you didn't even know. That's what happened to my dad. He went 3 years in a row on Thanksgiving, 3 straight years, because they did open heart, I think, the first time, and then they did stents the second 2 times because they couldn't find the other, and then it was good for 20 years until this past year. So hopefully, if it is something, it's a blessing in disguise, and they were able to find it and correct it. And if it's not something, then no big deal. Whatever, you just move on, and we'll find out soon enough on that.
Yeah, it's it's a big deal. Obviously, he's in the hospital, and Bill Self's in the hospital. But in relative terms to the other 2 that we've had these kind of scares with Bill Self on, this one feels like it is just kind of like a precautionary type of thing. It is likely related to the other 2, and you can kind of infer those conclusions that it is related to the other 2 if it is a hospitalization. But again, we're not doctors. We're not going to go on the record and say what it was or anything like that. We have no idea. But there, as you're saying, Jacob, these things can be complicated, as we know from experiences and stuff like that. And it literally could have been something of like, this doesn't feel right. Like, let's just double check. And and I imagine as we learn more, as this has happened the past couple of times, we'll learn more information today, likely. After the game, whoever is the interim head coach tonight, we don't know that answer yet. I'm sure KU does. We don't know that answer yet. Of who will serve as that, we'll likely talk about it and let everybody know kind of what's going on. But as of 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning, all we know is that he was taken to the hospital yesterday and he's doing better.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. And the details of it and the fine details of it is information we'll try to get you as best we can and in the ways that we can. And we'll go and we'll see what happens tonight. And hopefully, yes, it is simpler after the game for somebody to just pop up there and give us, as much information as they want to give us. Again, it's hard because when stuff happens at a public school and it's a public facing figure like that, it's always a really weird thing, for us to do, because, you have relationships with people and you're like, well, I don't want to, you don't want to pry into anything further than you want. But at the same time, like, we're supposed to be information gatherers, and here we go. Let's try to gather you as much information as respectfully as we can. So again, we'll all just say a prayer that Bill Self is fine here this morning. We'll talk about the game against Colorado. We'll talk about the way KU's looked as well throughout the show today. But if any other information comes out on this, we will be sure to let you know here over the next few hours. And we'll talk some college basketball too, because Bill Self's team looks fantastic right now. And they are going to set up and play another game tonight and try to position themselves and continue to look better and better heading into the important parts of the season. K-State also in action tonight. Again, Wyatt Thompson will join us on the other side. And yes, we do have a college football national champion. We won't get to it till a little bit later in the show as Indiana wins 27-21. Pretty dang good game. Watching it on an airplane and seeing Mendoza make the big play at the end of the game. I think we got what we wanted in that one, didn't we? We got a pretty good game there.
I think so. Did you see the stat? Indiana is not the first 16-0 college football team, major college football team. You see who it was?
No.
Yale Bulldogs, 1894.
There we go. Way to go, Yale.
I love that stat.
But you got it all. You had Mendoza making a big play in a key moment, and a coach making a big call. It was a game that delivered nicely, and the Cinderella, if you want to call it that, story of Indiana, maybe historically more than this year, they finish it off. All right, when we come back, Wyatt Thompson is in. We'll have it next for you on Sports Daily.
hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And we welcome you back in here. Voice of the K-State Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, stopping by to join us here this morning. Glad to have Wyatt with us as we get you ready for K-State tonight. Still looking for that first Big 12 win, taking on Utah at home. Boy, Wyatt, if it's coming, it needs to be tonight, as K-State still can't quite find that groove I think it had earlier in the season. Does that make all this maybe a little bit more frustrating, that at one point this year, this did look like it was going to work, and then it just lately it's kind of unraveled a little bit?
Well, I think that's perfectly said. Good to be on with you guys again. I thought, yes, it's been up and down, but there was a stretch there where I thought they were playing really well and starting to figure some things out. It's been a little tougher, obvious statement, of course, but since the start of conference play, talking with Tom Gilbert, our media relations director, and crunching some numbers, just to give you an example, K-State's last in the Big 12 in defensive rebounds. They're last in the league in rebound margin, and they're giving up almost 20 second chance points a game. If you look at what happened in the game on Saturday in Stillwater, we could talk about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, K-State was outscored, I think, 24 or 26 to 10 points in the paint. I'm sorry, points off turnovers. And then you add the rebounding to that. Now, they actually did win the rebounding battle by one. That's the first time they've done that in the league. But then the free throws are 24-5. The fouls are 22-10. Life on the road can be hard sometimes, and they didn't get the shot they wanted at the end. So it's been all over the map here lately, and it's just the reality of it.
Wyatt, it's frustrating more than anything is probably the right word to use, especially when you go to Oklahoma State and you have a lead with 2 seconds left in the game. Probably stings as bad as any of them. Coach Tang is the eternal optimist, as we've called you Coach Tang is more optimistic than Wyatt Thompson, and that says something about how optimistic Wyatt Thompson is. They feel like they can get this thing right, but man, it feels like they've got to linger a little bit.
Well, let's go back what Jacob said there. It's time, right? I mean, the schedule is hard, but this is a game where you're playing a team that is right there with you towards the bottom of the league, has a first-year coach, albeit a very good one, in Alex Jensen. I think you're going to see him in time win a lot of games at the University of Utah. He was part of that Rick Majerus crew back in the day. He knows basketball. He's been in the NBA for a long, long time with Dallas and the Utah Jazz. They lost a guy who was a big man piece for them early in the year, or they would be better than they are now. So again, K-State's had some injury issues too, and I think that has been part of it, along with the inconsistent play. You're right. Coach Tang he's not going to give up, right? But what I think frustrates fans is what we talked about earlier, where K-State looked really pretty good there for a while, and now it's more of a struggle. And so what do you do to make the turn, right? Can you become a better rebounding team, or a better defensive team, or a more consistent team with handling the ball? And they had 16 turnovers in the game in Stillwater. That's, and they had been around 10 or 11 or 12 before. That makes a difference on the road, man. It just does.
And don't look now, but Utah's last 3 games, it was tight against BYU at home. They hung around on the road against Texas Tech, and then they followed up with a win against TCU. To your point, I think they may also be finding a groove just a little bit. But either way, K-State's an 8.5-point favorite tonight for a reason. And, it's got to be tonight. It has to be tonight against Utah. That's the only other team, if you look at every metric that's out there, that's below K-State right now in the Big 12, and you've got them at home. Like, if the urgency to beat them tonight isn't there, man, I don't want to talk about it tomorrow, because I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and coaches don't want to do this, and I'm sure Coach Tang is only thinking about tonight. But you peek around the corner, you've got Kansas at home, then you go to West Virginia, and then you've got Iowa State at home, and KU's starting to kind of find their mojo, if you will. So it's challenging for sure. I just know this in talking about Utah and studying them. Those two guards, Terrence Brown and Don McHenry, are combined averaging just a tick under 40 points a game. Terrence Brown has been double figures, actually 20-plus points now 12 times this year in basically 18 games, so he can score. Keanu Dawes, who's a forward, can really play for them. He's a Houston kid. He can hit the threes. His percentage isn't great, but the other night I watched him make 3 in a row in the deep corner on the left baseline. They have pieces. They're not the deepest team. As I've said, they've had some injuries. Babacar's not the only one. I mean, Jacob Patrick is out. Jakari Howard is out, but their bench is basically a couple of freshmen and a junior transfer, but they still compete. And I think will be a challenge for K-State tonight, 100%, no doubt.
It's a very, coach speak ism whenever coaches go up there and talk about how hard it is to win games and do that kind of thing. I said the other day, I said, say what you want about Coach Tang, but he's not lying about that, how hard it is to win games in this Big 12. Because, I mean, top to, I still think it's the best it's ever been this year. I think it's the best that, we've seen in a long – it's better than the SEC was last year, I think, and maybe that's the Big 12 homer in me coming out. But in the same breath of that Oklahoma State game, going back to that, for them, I mean, they made the outside shots. They were there. They were going to win the game outside of a fluke foul call late in the game. Like, I feel like it's like the powder is in the keg, if you will. It just needs to get ignited.
Yeah, this is good. I think it's probably a good way to say it. K-State has been close in some of these games, not all of them, but they had an opportunity at Arizona State. They certainly had an opportunity at Oklahoma State. But again, let's go back to the fans. I think they're frustrated in that, you're not winning games. That's the most important thing because as Tim Weiser used to tell us, there's a reason they put big scoreboards in these places, right? That the score does matter. It's just what it is. But in this particular case, when you start looking at the personnel. I think Kamari McGriff's a perfect example. He's a little bit undersized for where he's playing. When he's not in foul trouble, which isn't a long enough stretches, he's been pretty productive and he plays his butt off, right? But he can't play 17, 18 minutes a game. He needs to be playing 30 minutes a game. I think the most consistent part of this team is PJ's going to get his 20 every night, right? What happens after that? And what happens after that so far has been, one night Abdi Bashir is really good and Nate's not so much. And the next time it might be the other way. David Castillo's now started to take a little dip in the last few games too. He's not shooting it as well as he did there in that stretch that Jacob talked about. So again, frustration on a lot of levels, and the coaches are fighting it, and so are the players. I'm telling you, man, that was a quiet plane ride for all 43 minutes or whatever it was the other night back from Stillwater. They're hurting. I'm not going to lie. I'd like to see them get one tonight, maybe get the thing turned a little bit, at least get one, and then try to build from there.
I mean, it is the beauty of the Big 12. It's difficult every night, but it gives you a chance at big wins every night too. And we saw last year K-State get on a run we didn't expect that kind of made them a bubble team a little bit. So there's still time, but man, is it frustrating. Let's talk a little football, Wyatt.
Yeah.
God, it's pretty hard not to just kind of sit back as an observer and grin at this Dylan Edwards story.
Wyatt, I've got a question for you. Dylan won't be the first letter winner in K-State history for both teams. Do you know the answer?
Yeah. I think I saw, and I think you maybe started this, right? Trying to research it. Apparently there was somebody back in was it the 40s or something?
30s. The 30s. Bob Gump. He's a Wichita.
Bob Gump. Yeah, that's what it was. And you know what? Good work on your part. I'm just going to be honest. I'm surprised it's not happened more, just because
I am too.
The closeness of the schools in the same league. It is an odd story. I don't think there's any question about that. Frustrating to say, but it's gonna be really, really weird and bizarre for me. I don't want to speak for any of the K-State coaches or anything, but for me, it's going to be really weird to see him in that uniform playing for KU after being here. Really odd, strange.
Yeah, fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
No,
it's
like
true.
I know that like he's a great player, so like K-State fans don't want to see him go there for that reason.
Sure.
But man, it's going to add a little juice. I like it.
I said this, Wyatt, as somebody that grew up in Kansas, and I know that you did as well. Like to see a player of the stature of Dylan Edwards, he was a top 10 running back in the country. Like I said that if somebody is going to transfer from K-State to KU, I'm glad it's somebody from Kansas that can appreciate what they're doing and going from K-State to KU. It's so much better than if it was somebody from Texas. Like there's a little part of this, like it's really exciting for KU fans and it kind of stinks for K-State fans a little bit. But like there's a part of this, which, as a Kansan, it's like, man, he's the only person to do that in 100 years. That's insane.
It is insane, and I think again, this is a general speaking term. Not all K-Staters will feel this way, but for some, he's always going to be a traitor now. I'm not going to kid you about that. And that fuels the rivalry, as you guys said. It'd be just the opposite. I mean, it'd be the same thing if it were the other way around, right?
Yep.
Going from Kansas to Kansas State. At least I think it would. So it's going to be a bizarre. It's going to be a story for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Especially if he stays healthy and plays, and that you hope that he stays healthy, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be unique and different.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is, but he's a good player. People want him for a reason. So if he can stay healthy and get out there and play, it'll make it good. K-State does have a lot happening in the portal, though. It looks like the staff is more or less done. Wyatt, the players, we talked about it last week, the players coming in versus the players going out. What's like the net positive or negative there? It's probably pretty close, but the buzz around the building, what are you hearing? Are coaches, are people excited about the group coming into next year? And is there a real belief that this team could compete at the top of the Big 12?
Absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think everybody, around where I work is very positive about, having Colin here and him getting a chance at a young age. And most of us know him pretty well and feel like that, he's going to, have a lot of success in the future. And I think we're starting to learn more and more daily about some of the coaches. I know some of them, not all of them, but that will change here as we, get rolling into spring ball here in a couple months. I think in terms of the portal, you said it well. You don't like to lose some of the guys that K-State lost, whether it's Jace Brown, Austin Romaine, Toby Osunsami, Chidi Obiizor. Those guys are good players. And look, all you have to do is look at where they went. That proves that. But I do think, they went out and got a lot of help in the secondary, got a lot of help in the offensive line, which they probably needed to do. I think we talked about the running back room. We were talking about Dylan Edwards, but, Joe Jackson's I thought he played really well at the end of the year. Now you get those other two kids in here. Why wouldn't you be excited about that? I think they're better at receiver, deeper at receiver. So they've got a lot of good football players here, and I think they would be crazy to not think they should and could compete.
Yeah, Wyatt, I want you to give us a little inside baseball here. We like to joke a lot, especially in the newsroom, as the transfer portal goes along, in football especially, because there's 100-man rosters. No matter what your team is, if you're K-State, KU, West Virginia, anybody, whenever your team lands a player, you say, oh, that's a good get. It's like, really? Were you watching Hawaii football last year? Do you know about that guy? Like, I don't think you do. For you, what is this like? I know you're in middle basketball season, but are you trying to dig in? Like, what does that look like for Wyatt Thompson as you add 30 guys in a week?
Well, it's a good question, and it is a challenge to keep up, right? I was so excited on, I think it was Friday or Saturday. Ryan Lackey sent me a little piece. He does all the football media relations work. Just a little snippet on each guy that K-State has captured in the portal. And it's like, yes, now I can really dig in and go to work now. And I've talked with Stan about this and others. A lot of fans have contacted me and said, boy, you are going to have your work cut out for you this spring, learning not only the new staff, but a ton of new players. And hey, everybody else that's my counterparts around the league are doing the same thing. Basketball is the same. I mean, Utah is an example. We play them tonight. They have 0 returning starters from last year. And Oklahoma State, I think, well, let's go back to the last home game, UCF. They literally had one player, one from their roster from a year ago on the roster this time.
Yeah.
That kid was on the all-name team and never plays. He's a Korean kid, I think, and he's a walk-on, and he just never plays.
And by the way, they're having a pretty good year.
Is back.
They're having a good year, though.
They certainly are. He's done a really good job. They've got. I wonder how good they could be had they kept their starting center, Mustafa Chum, who's now at Cincinnati. And I think Cincinnati paid a lot of money to get that guy because he's good. They've replaced him. I don't know if he's quite as good as the kid at Cincinnati, but I really like their point guard. Riley Kugel can play. That right now, you'd have to say they've got a real shot to make the NCAA tournament. They're better than most people would perceive them to be.
Oh, sure.
How many teams in the Big 12 are getting in the tournament? 14 of them? Like, I have no
probably
idea.
Not that many, but I think you could argue you could get 9, and maybe the coaches would tell you 10 at this point. It probably won't play out that way because you beat each other up so much for 2.5, 3 months. Like a TCU as an example, good club, but when you start, who knows what lies ahead? But let's say the selection show us today. That loss at Utah for them is going to sting, right? I mean, that was one they needed to get. So what do? And Jacob, you said this earlier. You got to go out and you're going to have plenty of opportunities. Go get one that nobody thought you would. Whether it's beat Kansas or beat Arizona or whatever it might be.
we're looking at 7 that are going to go,
probably.
and then a team's going to have to get hot outside of that, which they probably will.
Yeah.
8 is generally the benchmark. I think we're getting like a very, like, that top 7 is wild good. 6 of them could probably legitimately, you could say, I don't know. I mean, we just talked about UCF being good. I don't know if I'd say this about them, but everybody else, those are all teams that can win a national championship.
You're also seeing, even though it's early, guys, you're starting to see a little bit of separation from that top half to the bottom half, even though it's early. I was fearful that might happen because I think you've got some quality teams in the bottom half. And I think TCU would be part of that. They're going to have to play their tail off to make it, right? Probably UCF too. Probably could throw Baylor in there, right?
Baylor's, by the metrics, Baylor's still ahead of a
exactly. Yeah.
It's a blast. I love it. And I didn't need K-State to be a part of it. We'll see if they can get that rolling tonight at home against Utah. Wyatt will have the call right here on KFH, your home of Wildcat Athletics. Wyatt, we appreciate it this morning.
You bet. Great talking to you, fellas. Have a great day.
There goes Wyatt Thompson. Oh, man. We can have that exercise when we come back. We'll do it next on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland on a Tuesday, making our way through. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for keeping us, keeping us rocking and rolling. Appreciate their support of the program here as we are getting closer to the golf season, although we've kind of had an extended golf season. Is it an early start to this golf season or is it an extension of last golf season? I'm not sure. Either way, 36 holes to choose from at Crestview for you. All kinds of different memberships for the golf, for the non-golfers, for all just the social events and maybe the tennis, the pool, all the other stuff Crestview has. It is a great time to join because you can get great deals. They told us so. They told us to tell you that. So get out there, give them a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. Ask about the different memberships. And if you join, you can come out and say hi to myself, to Tommy, former host of this show, as we're out there pretty frequently. All right, we come back in, TJ.
I've got something for you, Jacob. This is a good
Okay.
one. K-State tonight is going to wear their dark gray jerseys. I don't know if you're aware. You know, the dark gray and lavender ones they debuted a couple years ago.
Okay.
They posted on social media yesterday. This is getting some good run. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Bramlage. Wear anthracite. You got anything in your closet that's anthracite, Jacob?
Anthracite. Okay, let me
anthracite.
see.
It's a dark gray.
I'm a gray fan.
Is K-State the first team in college basketball history to have an anthracite out? They might be.
Yeah. I mean, you could have just said wear gray, probably, but that's probably what they were going for. They were probably going for the attention of calling it anthracite. Imagine that being an official school color: lavender and anthracite.
I think in high school, I used to give our high school baseball coaches a bunch of grief because we had anthracite baseball pants. They were like a dark gray. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, why are we wearing anthracite pants? What are we doing?
That can't be a thing. Baseball, with very few exceptions, white or gray.
I agree.
I'm in on the light blue that has made a comeback, kind of the retro. I'm okay with that. That's about it, though. And we're not talking anthracite gray. We're talking about a lighter gray to signify that you're on the road. We don't need colored uniforms in baseball.
Think about like the Diamondbacks old jerseys when they did their experiment of the dark gray and teal. Those were the color of the pants, and it drove me nuts.
Yeah, the Padres have tinkered with almost like a yellowish color in the past.
I like their browns that they have. Those are pretty cool.
Well, they don't. No, I'm talking about the ones maybe 2 uniforms ago, where it was almost like a light yellow. We don't need to go down that road. But anthracite, okay, whatever it takes. I don't care. K-State, just win a damn game, all right? Like, wear whatever you want. That doesn't matter anymore. Just win. Like, give us something. Give us something.
I'll pose this question for you after we kind of just wrapped up with Wyatt there talking about it. I rolled my eyes pretty hard last year whenever Bruce Pearl and all these SEC guys were talking about that it was harder to win the SEC than it was to win a national championship. But now that we're living this Big 12, I think it's harder to win the Big 12 than it is to win a national championship.
I don't think that I agree with that, but it's a different kind of hard. It's harder for Bill Self to rattle off the stretch and the streak of Big 12 championships.
But think about it this way: to win a national championship, you have to win 6 straight games, and 2 of them are going to come against lesser opponents. Basically, the way it's set up could be Cinderellas, but they're going to be lesser opponents. I mean, you got to win at least 6 straight games if you want to win the Big 12 this year. There's going to be teams with maybe 1 or 2 losses.
Well, right, I understand. I understand what you're saying. But, you get a lot of games at home. I think the NCAA tournament is an impossible ask. You play every other day, which you don't do most of the time. And there's a lot of things to it. But on that, we were just talking about the Big 12, and that top 7 has separated itself. Now, I wouldn't sit here and tell you that I think UCF can win a national championship in college basketball. I don't think that. But they're really good. But if you take out of that top 7, which are certainly all going to be NCAA tournament teams, if you take that, and I'm going to pull UCF out of that for this statement, those other 6 teams absolutely can win a national championship. And that's where Arizona, Houston, BYU, Texas Tech, Iowa State, Kansas. You tell me which one of those teams couldn't win a national championship. Because they all... That's where, to me, this feels a little different for the Big 12. The Big 12's had really good years in the past. I don't know that we've ever been able to look at it legitimately as we're getting close to February to say 6 of the teams could absolutely win a national championship. That's how good the top part of the Big 12 is this year. Then you get to the ridiculous depth, which is almost a totally different thing. As great as those top 6 teams are, as high as their ceilings are, these other teams could beat them at home, any of them, on any night, except for Utah.
Mm-hmm.
What looks like K-State right now, although K-State, as bad as it's been and as bad as it's going, you tell me K-State shoots well at home? They can.
I mean, you're right. Right now, there is tier 1, then there is tier 2, and then there's like tier 2B is what it is right now. And as you're saying, K-State could go into any place and win a basketball game, and we'll all be like, oh, yeah, well, PJ Haggerty scored 40 points. What do you want him to do?
Right. I don't know if they can do it on the road, but they can do it at home. Utah and K-State do feel at a bottom rung all to themselves at the moment. Hopefully K-State can climb out of that. But yeah, like the top tier here is stupid good. Stupid good. Arizona and Houston have to play each other. They haven't lost yet. I think Kansas, who has to play, an insane schedule down the stretch. And of course, we're watching Bill Self and his health and everything too. But you get Arizona twice. You get Houston once in that stretch. I think KU's going to. I don't think KU's getting swept by Arizona. They've already beat Iowa State. Are they going to beat Houston at home? There's a decent chance. I mean, things are looking good for them right now. Yeah. That's the way this league is lining up. I mean, that's what you're looking. So are Arizona and Houston going to run the table? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Here's a question for you. KU, how many teams in the Big 12 would KU be an underdog on their home on the road? How many teams would KU be an underdog on the road? No, other way. Not Allen Fieldhouse. Going on the road.
They'd be underdogs on the road at Arizona. They'd be underdogs on the road at Houston. They'd be underdogs at Texas Tech, probably at BYU. BYU would be close. Iowa State now would be close after the way that first game went.
Yeah,
but I think Arizona, Houston, and Tech, probably.
Yeah, and then I think they'd be favored against every other team. That's what I'm saying. Like
BYU on the road. I don't think they're going to BYU on the road as a favorite.
It'd be a pick 'em at least.
It probably.
Yeah,
probably. But Kansas is look. We can transition right there to Kansas as we have the Bill Self news, and we're all watching his health and hoping he's okay and everything else. Kansas's upside is, I mean. We didn't know if it would be upside, like national championship upside. I think you kind of hoped that, right? Before the year, I'm talking, you go way back. You're like, okay, they brought Flory Badunga back, which is a big damn deal, right? That was the priority one. We said it, priority one this offseason, because at that point, you knew Darren Peterson was coming in. It was to pair him with Flory Badunga. That was the top priority, and then it happens. Like, okay. And then everything else they've dealt with on the path to January 20th has been interesting. But when we see this team going at its peak, it has all the makings of some of the great Bill Self teams. Mm-hmm. It's running 7. Maybe it'll get to 8 deep, but probably not in the games that matter. You like the 2 pieces coming off the bench of McDowell and Marco Jackson. That was another thing we hoped at the beginning of the year. Can those 2 guys take that next step now in their year 3s in the program? And we're starting to see that. And that's been a big part of what they're doing, too. And now that they've found whatever the groove's going to be with Darren Peterson, Badunga's, I am all in with him. Have been all you. He just jumps off the screen. Like the pieces are there. And oh, by the way, Melvin Council also appears to be a pretty premier player himself. So like those pieces are in place for Kansas. And now for 2 games at least, they've started to find their consistency. And they've been 2 really impressive wins. Now it's a really interesting week for them. They're both on the road, which is always hard. They're against teams that you look at on paper.
That's my segue. They're going to be favored in both of these games, but also wouldn't shock you if something may have happened in these games.
Right. I have not seen Colorado play yet this year. Full disclosure. I'm excited to see them if I can stay up till midnight tonight.
I think me and Jackson spent 30 minutes on that yesterday.
It's fine. It's a West Coast deal. No big deal.
But it's 9:00 in Colorado. They're not even on the freaking Pacific time.
I know it's a little late, but it's a TV window thing. And I'm curious to see if that sticks. What is the network on that? It's ESPN.
ESPN. It's on the primary.
So it's the attempt at getting into that late window where we normally.
Yeah, that was something I talked to Dennis Dodd about back 3 years ago. About whenever the Big 12 expanded, basically, or whenever Texas and Oklahoma left, and then they added, started to add that way. And it was even before they added the West Coast teams. It was basically him saying, like, well, yeah, like everybody jokes about Pac-12 after dark, but it has better ratings than infomercials. Like, it does well.
Correct. And the question will be, can they ever get it to the teams in the time zones playing those games exclusively? Well, no. I mean, if you're going to attract people to that, one of, if not the biggest TV draws in college basketball. I mean, there's only a handful of them that are there with Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, maybe, but probably I don't even know that is. It's Kansas and Duke. It feels like to me. Put them in there and see what happens.
I mean, it's attractive. It's attractive for the basketball sicko to be like, hey.
And look, it's great in football. Like in football, you got a 10 o'clock kick, no big deal, right? We saw K-State do that against BYU, right? On a Saturday. On a Tuesday, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Could you imagine if this was Kansas at Arizona?
Yeah.
At 10 o'clock
at night?
I mean, I don't know if they play another late one like that. It looks like
all the tip times are out, yeah.
Texas Tech is an 8 o'clock. I don't think they have another one this late. Let me just double. They don't. They have a lot of 8 o'clocks, which already feel late.
I don't know. This is the first time that I remember them or K-State playing in a 10 o'clock tip. Do you remember?
I don't think they have either. No, I don't think they have.
I remember a lot of. There's been some 9s where they'll play at 8 in Colorado or something.
They've played Big 12 tournament games super late at night. But no, I can't recall one either. I don't even remember, to be perfectly honest. Do we see any Big 12 games? Is this the first year we're seeing the Big 12 late window?
We'll see them on the weekend sometimes. Like, I guess, I don't know. I mean, those are, I guess, non-con games that they'll usually play that late.
Right. No, I'm talking about conference games this time of year into that last window. I don't know if we have. I don't remember them. Let me stay up late because Arizona and BYU are playing at 10 o'clock tonight. I don't think so. I don't know. There's enough of them out there where they could probably schedule this out right. And I mean, how many teams right now do we have sitting in that time zone? You've got Utah, Arizona State, Colorado.
Is Utah? I thought Utah's Mountain Time. Are they Pac?
They're Mountain Time. I guess
you were just there.
They're Mountain Time. Yeah, I was just there. That's Mountain Time. I didn't know that before I got there, though. I thought they were way out there too. But no, that's Mountain. But still, so is Arizona this time of year. BYU, Arizona, that's 5, right, that are in that time zone. So
yeah, I guess we don't have a Pacific time, do we? Outside of whenever Arizona
does their weird thing, but other than that, no, I don't believe so. BYU and Utah are Mountain Time. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. Big 12. We'll see if we can make it. It'll be a late night tonight with that one. K-State, KU both in action tonight. When we come back, we'll talk about that national championship game. What'd you think? It's on the other side. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to another hour of Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on this Tuesday, a Tuesday where we have KU and K-State basketball in action tonight. We'll get Wichita State tomorrow. The Shockers coming off of a big weekend win. We'll have more on that as we make our way through tomorrow's show. Thanks to Wyatt Thompson for stopping by. If you missed anything with Wyatt, you can go back on the Odyssey app and listen to that. While you're there, if you're listening to us, you can leave us voice messages we can take right here over the air. If you want to chime in, not able to call in and hang tight for a little bit, or maybe you're listening to us in podcast and you want to go back to revisit something, you can do that. You can also leave us video messages, video comments, I should say, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. We can get to those. Thanks to watching us on 12 News Connected. And if you are listening to us over the air on KFH, you want to chime in, 869-1240. Max has the hotline ready for you. We are making our way through. We'll get you back to the Bill Self news yesterday if you missed it. Another medical situation, medical scare perhaps for Bill Self. We'll get you the latest on what we know there. We have not even talked football yet, in which we've had a national champion crowned in college and a major firing in the NFL. We'll get to both of those stories in this hour as well. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, celebrating National Cheese Lovers Day today, January 20th. This is a one-day deal, so get ready. $5 dine-in cheese pizzas with purchase of a qualifying drink. You can one per guest is the limit. $5 cheese pizzas at Wichita Brewing Company today for National Cheese Lovers Day. WBC cheese pizza and beer made here. We come back in. Sean McDermott is the coach that was fired. And that was, I don't want to say it was unexpected. What did we say last week, TJ? It was possible. It's out. It's been floated out there. I don't agree with the decision, but much like Tomlin and Harbaugh, just kind of like you're going to keep trying the same thing. I get it. McDermott's done a great job. I don't know if he's a slam dunk to get another job right away, but he'll get another job at some point. But you got to think like, man, John Harbaugh and all these guys got to be sitting there thinking, crap. I missed the chance to go coach Josh Allen. Whoops.
Yep. I don't know who they're going to hire. Like, those two names are the two big fish with Stefanski and Harbaugh, in my opinion.
Yes.
And now it's just like, man, are they going to get outside the box? Are they going to try to get a retread in there? Is that like a Mike McDaniel? Is that a Matt Nagy? Like, or are they going to throw a bone to a coordinator? As people talked about Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator there, just getting promoted and doing that thing, which I don't think would be the right thing to do if you're going to fire somebody. So
you got to keep Brady, don't you? Like
I know. I don't know what you do.
Brady with Allen has been, I mean, it's been a long time now.
I saw Brian Dable, obviously the old Bills coordinator.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I don't know how excited fans would be about that, but that would be a pretty interesting idea. The thing is, you don't want to change a lot. So you've got to have, and the Chiefs are going through this to some degree too. There's Eric Bieniemy rumors floating out there now. Like at some point, and I think we can tie them together here for just a second. I saw a conversation this morning happening where, and forgive me, I don't remember now who the reporters were or whatever. It's like, well, if Mahomes is in on a Bieniemy return, then you've got to pay attention to that. And someone's like, oh, well, Mahomes isn't the GM and sometimes wants players that. And I'm like, listen, the coordinator and wanting Clyde Edwards-Helaire are not the same thing, right? If you have a star quarterback who has thrived with somebody and they're telling you, like, let's bring this guy in, then I think that you bring this guy in, right? Like it's not a question so much. So when Eric Bieniemy is coming back, which is the plan at this point. I don't think it's official yet, but it's the plan. It's been what's being talked about for a couple of days here. Then I think there's nothing wrong with that. Did we all want to change? Maybe, but Bieniemy was running some pretty good offense when he was there. However, but they were good when he was there.
Those stats of whenever he was the offensive coordinator, they had the top 6 offense in the NFL for all 6 of the years, the number 1 offense for 2 of the years. And then as soon as he leaves, they go to 18th, 20th. And to be fair, they traded Tyreek Hill away and loaded up their defense, and they can't change what they did. So, correlation, not causation there a little bit. But it's interesting. It's an interesting hire because I think that this all signs kind of pointed to after a bad year, that something would change. And everybody kind of thought that it needed to be something like fresh. Like maybe that is something to be like, there's scrutiny about the play calling. Like maybe there needs to be somebody just to throw ideas off of. Andy Reid would still call the plays, but somebody to just put the ideas off of basically. And for them to, kind of run it back again, not running it back from but from 2022, keep not making a major change to the staff. Even like the position coaches, there's talk that people are just going to kind of get promoted around there and everything like that. If they have another disappointing year next year, I think that that's going to say a lot about this hire. Because right now they're showing that, like, yeah, these are the guys that won Super Bowls. Like, we're just going to keep trusting them.
Yeah, and it's not official yet, by the way. Just making sure they haven't officially done it.
No, but sources say
to somebody, right?
Pelissero and Schefter all saying that he's the front runner, I guess.
So look, since 2022, I think people forget how long it's been since he's been there. It's been a long time now. We've seen, 3 seasons without him. And here's why I'm fine with it. It's not, Chicago Bears running backs did a really good job this year, and I'm not sure people expected them to. Remember, the Bears had kind of given up on DeAndre Swift a little bit, it seemed like, or Ben Johnson had given up on DeAndre Swift in Detroit, I should say, and then kind of inherits him in Chicago, and everyone's like, well, what does that mean for Swift? Well, they brought in Eric Bieniemy, who's a run game guy, and the running backs look really good in Chicago this year. Remember what else, at least I've been saying, Chiefs are going to have to run the ball now this year with Mahomes coming off of an injury, with everything else happening. Bringing back Eric Bieniemy, who's a running backs guy.
It's interesting. Yeah, I agree. This hire is the most interesting to me because of what happened after Bieniemy. Because, I mean, in 2022, we were sitting here talking about him becoming a head coach, and he was getting interviews to be a head coach at a lot of places. And then he leaves and he takes the OC job for the Commanders, and then kind of gets fired after a year. Then he goes to UCLA and he's the offensive coordinator there, and they are not any good, and he leaves. Reports that he was fired. He basically said, I wasn't fired. I just left and wanted to focus on something else. And then all of a sudden he's coaching running backs in Chicago. And then now he's back as the Chiefs offense. So it's like, I don't know what all transpired. If he's the same guy since he left in 2022,
Yeah, it doesn't
that's
really
the question mark.
I don't think it matters too much. We know that this isn't the normal offensive coordinator job.
That too.
Right? We know that. It's Andy Reid. It's what Andy Reid does. It's not like all the other offensive coordinator jobs in the league. Just like some defensive coordinator jobs aren't the same, right? When you're coaching for Bill Belichick, right? Like sometimes those guys get their hands in there, and Andy Reid certainly does. So what does Bieniemy bring to the table? Well, he's a fit. You know that. Like he's a fit. He can work with Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes likes him. That's a pretty good start. That's why we see a lot of these names. But I do think it's at least interesting to know that, and for it to just scream at us that this team needs to run the ball a little bit more. They've invested in the offensive line that way. Mahomes is coming off an injury. Like all these things are Travis Kelce, whether he plays or not, is getting older. Like all these things are telling us they need to run the ball. Eric Bieniemy is a run the ball guy. I know he was there at some times they didn't, but that is his background. So
that's the weird part about that. You're exactly right. He was a Hall of Fame running back himself, and then he coached running backs forever, and he was the Chiefs running back coach prior to being the offensive coordinator. And then in his 6 years as the offensive coordinator, they did not run the football. They threw it 100 times
because their roster wasn't built that way.
It's true, but it's just funny that he brings in all this running back experience, and then they don't use. So maybe this time around, that may be something. I agree. That's the first thing I thought about too.
Their roster says run the ball. Sean McDermott is out there now. What does he get a job? He probably could if he wanted one. As we see Robert Saleh late night, looks like he's going to be the coach for the Titans. Saw that one overnight.
Good job.
So, we'll just keep our eye on it. The Bieniemy thing, it's not like it's not going to happen now. It's just a timing thing. So the Chiefs haven't made it official. We'll have lots of time to spend on Eric Bieniemy's return. You were just probably getting into this thing when that was all happening. Is that about right? Like
I caught
one of the strangest.
2020. What are you talking about?
The story of Eric Bieniemy not becoming a head coach is one of the stranger things to cover and follow that I can remember. It's very weird.
I caught about a year and a half of Bieniemy when I started working on TV, basically.
People, this was still at the time where everybody was hypersensitive to the social things happening around the country, and it became like a race thing. He's not getting hired because he's a black head coach. And then that created a weird argument. And then there was his relationship with Patrick Mahomes, remember, and they were yelling at each other. And then it was like, well, does anybody want to hire Rick? It was one of the stranger stories ever. Just very, very bizarre. And then everything unraveled, and now he had a nice reclamation season in Chicago. Like the timing on this is really good, I think, for Eric Bieniemy and the Chiefs, quite frankly.
If it works, it's a slam dunk hire, obviously. But you just have to see what the roster is going to give you. Basically, it's kind of, that was a joke that somebody made. Is that Eric Bieniemy coming from the Chiefs in 2022 to the Chiefs in 2026 is shell shocking how different it is.
How different, and you cannot run out there with Kareem Hunt next year. I mean, it can't happen. You're bringing in Bieniemy. If you're bringing in Bieniemy, you're running. It seems like they're telling us they're going to run the ball, even though, like you said, that wasn't the case in 2022. I know, but you didn't have to bring him back either. All right, we'll come back. Let's talk about the national championship game when we return. Indiana is your champion. How good is the story, and what does that mean for everybody else trying to turn things around? We'll have that next.
.97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done,
lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
1 1
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up each and every morning. Rick tells us that they had the 10 o'clock in Colorado last year. That sounds familiar, Rick. Appreciate that. KU tonight, late night playing. Of course, we have our attention on Bill Self and his medical situation. Had to go to the hospital yesterday. Left practice, abundance of caution from the school, the abundance of caution, and it sounds like everything's okay, which is best case scenario. And if there was anything wrong, hopefully they can get it quickly tended to after, of course, a little bit of a history here of some heart issues with Bill Self. So we'll keep our eyes and our ears to that as we make our way. And then, it'll be a 10 o'clock tip. So whatever news we get's probably not coming until we're on the air tomorrow morning.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, there's as we learn more, there'll be stuff to talk about with this. But as we kind of said earlier in the show, that like right now, all we know is that he got IVs at the hospital. We don't know what caused it. We don't really know, what happened. We don't know any of that stuff. And so,
that stuff, look, that stuff's not even like, that's what happened. The information of it, he had to leave practice, all those things. The most, newsworthy component of it. Obviously, everybody is hoping for, praying for a clean bill of health as quickly as possible. The last time we had one of these, it lasted a little while. And so we don't know that either, right? We don't know how quickly Bill Self, maybe he's back tomorrow when they get back. We don't know that. That's the next question that you want to kind of have some insight into. They'll play without him tonight. How long are they going to be without him, right?
Look, I think an interesting, question that I'm sure he'll answer today is, if he does speak to whoever today, that it is the question of if the game was in Lawrence, there's a chance he could have coached the game. Like he's not coaching the game tomorrow, mainly because he physically didn't get on the plane.
He just missed the flight. Right. Yeah. And that's a best case scenario. And yeah, with a history of a heart issue, you do have to take every precaution. And now for Bill Self, just like anybody who's gone through it, kind of what the triggers are. You kind of know what it feels like. You know what you got to be careful with. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open on that story today for sure. We did have a national championship last night, TJ. It's been a good college football year. We've talked about it. I still it's almost February. Like, what the hell are we doing playing this game this late?
I was thinking of you whenever the Carson Beck thing went viral the other day.
Yeah.
People asking him how going to class was, and he was like, I'm not going to class. And out of context, he's not going to class because it's now the spring semester.
Right. Like we're getting ready to start. Like, and he graduated like 2 years ago. Yep. We were all locked in. We were all locked into college football, right? A month and a half ago, beginning of December. Like, we're locked in, we're excited, we're playing conference championships. And then a month and a half later, we crown a champion. And they've only played 3 postseason games. It's silly. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't, to me, like, they're so worried about the traditions of keeping New Year's games. And by the way, New Year's Day games were 19 days ago now. But we're so worried about that stuff. But you lose it. Like, I'm telling you, if they did this thing and just rolled it right through, it could maybe give the NFL a run for its money. Not completely, but more than it does now. Like, what are you, like, Miami and Indiana are playing. Listen, I was in airports yesterday. That game wasn't on anywhere. Like, it wasn't like if it was when I was running around Utah and everybody everywhere on the mountain when we're skiing, everyone has their phone on watching those NFL playoff games, or at least keeping an eye on it. That's not happening with the national championship right now, because it's like, oh yeah, Miami and Indiana still have a game to play. Like we were done with college football a long time ago. Like we were once you get through the new year, you're not thinking about college football anymore. We're thinking about the portal. We're thinking about Dylan Edwards' move. There's still a game to play.
That honestly, if you want to talk about why people, maybe lose more to the national championship, there's a component now of it, which, KU and K-State fans have cared more about the Dylan Edwards situation in the last week than they care about the national championship. You're trying to figure out who's on your team because all the news is breaking about them. If you want to, and that's the reason that the Super Bowl does so well. Like, it's not during free agency. It's not during when anything else is going on. It's the standalone event.
Yeah. I mean, it's annoying already for coaching hires to be made before this, but that's unavoidable. It's too bad for Indiana. I'll just say, what a story. The Hoosiers have been. What a difference to, like, for me personally, because I was so against their schedule last year that they played. Just was not a fan of it. And so it's like they're not for real. And then they follow it up. And then they get really good and follow it up. Like, there was no doubt Indiana was a wagon this year. Like, they didn't play a soft schedule.
I kept making the joke. I kept making the joke that in the Final Four and the championship game, like, Indiana has been so good that you've kind of forgotten that they were the underdog story. Like, it got to the point where it's just like, man, maybe we should let Oregon, get some points on the board. It's like, no, Indiana's the worst football program in the history of the sport. Like, this is still the underdog story.
Well, it's an underdog story as a program. It's not an underdog story because they were the best team all year.
Exactly.
So it's like this weird, it wasn't some Cinderella in it. And now you've got 3 straight years of Big Ten national champions. Before that, it was 4 straight years of SEC champions. TJ, we got to go all the way back to 2018 to have a champion,
Clemson?
not from the Clemson. Yep. To have a champion, not SEC or Big Ten. That is what made me pull for Miami to last night. Like, I couldn't even get on board with how bad Indiana had been historically, and Cignetti has been a fun watch, and Fernando Mendoza is a fun player. Like, all of it. I'm like, man, I would really like for the ACC or the Big 12 to win a national championship here. I don't like the ammo that the Big Ten, especially the Big Ten, because they're kind of the stubborn ones at this point. They're going back to back to back on this deal.
I know.
And, to Chris Kleiman's point, until you can, come up with the resources to compete with these teams, it's going to be really difficult. And until they can kind of rein in and put some guardrails, which will happen eventually, it will. It's going to be tough. But Indiana's also on the flip side. And so has Texas Tech been this year, and TCU a few years ago. There's never been. So I try to think about this all the time. Like, should you be more optimistic as a fan of a team like K-State or KU now, or less? And I think it's more, because these 1-year turnarounds are happening all the time. And you still have to do it, right? You still have to find somebody to come in and help you build up a roster like that. But I will also make the case that in the old days, and K-State had some examples where this isn't true. I don't want to take anything away from what Bill Snyder did. But the reality was, for the most part, they didn't have any chance to win a national championship. Now they do. Indiana's a perfect example. Texas Tech's a perfect example. Like, you can put it together in a year. It's, you got to put together something special. The pieces have to all fit, but you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's never been that way in college football before.
Also pushing back, K-State was the number 1 team in the country at one point.
I know. I'm trying to, like, throw that caveat in there for K-State in those couple of years that they had. But for the most part, like, teams, most Big 12 teams, like, they just, you weren't presented with a real good chance. And so everyone now is like the haves and the have-nots. Mm-hmm. I'm like, guys, the haves and the have-nots, we are talking about Division I college football, right? Yeah. It is always been the haves and the have-nots.
The scary part, though, that I think that is part, and you're exactly right. Like, if this wasn't a thing, all the good players are just going to go to Alabama or Ohio State like they used to do. Like, this does spread it out a little bit. It is, maybe scary for teams like in KU and K-State situation is that teams like, Indiana, Purdue, Vanderbilt, throw all those schools in the mix, now it's just like, those are just more guys. There's just more haves maybe than there were have-nots at this point. That may be the scary part.
Yeah. I mean, but those haves can become haves immediately, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, you can become a have right away.
If you have a billionaire.
I'm looking at the transfer team rankings according to 24/7. Oklahoma State right now is the 6th best team in the country because they've rebuilt a roster with 3 star players, right? Texas Tech's inside the top 10. So Arizona State's inside the top 15. That's despite losing Leavitt. Again, this is according to 24/7. I don't follow this stuff that closely. Like you do, but there's ACC and Big 12 teams littered all over the top 20 of those class rankings.
Yeah.
So it can happen quicker than it used to. You're not stuck in purgatory forever like you used to be. The thought of Kansas going as through a cold stretch like they went through is unlikely now, where it was very likely before. Like, how do you ever dig your way out of that before the portal? And the free spending nature of it. As much as I don't like the portal as much as the NIL component of this, it does at least make it possible to have a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Interesting story. Obviously, as all this stuff has happened with Indiana now being the greatest turnaround in college football, it's become localized for us because that used to be Bill Snyder. And people make their arguments. The best way that I put it is that Snyder's was a harder turnaround, but Indiana won the national championship. Like, I think that they may have done, it may be more impressive what Indiana did, but it was harder to do what K-State
I don't think
did.
Indiana ever faced relegation, did they?
I mean, they won more games this year.
They weren't getting kicked out, which, famously is what K-State was kind of under the threat of. So I don't know. I think it's, let me put it this way. Whether Indiana's is more impressive or less impressive, obviously people around here are going to take offense to that. Doesn't really matter to me. I will say this to the side of K-State. It was harder to do what Bill Snyder did than Indiana. Indiana, you can go put together a team real fast. I mean, Vanderbilt was relevant this year. So I don't want to take anything away from Indiana. It's a great story, but what they did is not as difficult for a program like when, and I get it. They won the national championship. So I'm trying to not take away from that small part of this, but turning around a program today is not as impressive as it was when Bill Snyder did it. How about that? Not as difficult to do.
I'll give you this stat. This is what I saw on social media yesterday. I haven't double checked it, but it sounds correct. This is from Emaw Caleb. We talk about all the time. Kurt Signetti versus top 10 opponents in 2025 went 6-0. Bill Snyder versus top 10 opponents all time in his career went 5-36.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if you want to use the stat there, they played a lot of top 10 teams whenever they were terrible too. So
yeah, look, again,
but
I don't want
to say that Bill. Yeah, you can say they only won 5 and they won 6 in a year. Like that's how good they were.
Indiana's story is fantastic. Signetti's story is fantastic. What we saw with Texas Tech this year is fantastic. Like all of that. And that's why I like the direction we're headed with college football as a whole, is because I think collectively we're in a better place. As chaotic as it is, and as much as that part sucks, like imagine being an Indiana football fan before last year. Imagine being a K-State football fan before Bill Snyder. Imagine being a KU football fan before Lance Leipold, right? Like it's just like, how do you get super excited during those times? Now you do at least know, like you're one class away. You're one transfer portal year away from making a run at a national championship. It took Indiana 2 shots. It took 2 years. So it wasn't like it was in 1 year. Yeah. But Texas Tech was real close to being good enough to win a national championship this year. TCU made it to the national championship game. Those were one-year rosters put together largely through the portal that paid off. And that's possible for anybody. And I think at least in the chaos, we have that component to this. Now, over time, I think we will find a happy middle ground.
I think so.
It hasn't happened as quickly as maybe I had personally hoped, but we'll get there. And the schedule, again, I'm far more offended by the schedule than I am the transfer portal. I'm so bummed that we just don't care about these games enough because they take too long to play them.
I think that when we've said this before, amid all the craziness, like this is the best, football and storylines that we've seen in college football. You can make the case that maybe ever, you want to say like there hasn't been, and like 2 decades ago, I mean, was there, what did we say? There was like 10 teams the number 10 team in the country spent national championship. You know what I'm talking about? Like those kind of things were not happening 2 decades ago. We were getting Alabama and
100%.
Ohio State, whoever it was back then, whatever you say, like
whichever team it was at the moment. Yeah,
exactly. So like this created more parity in itself. And I think that if they can actually find a way to put the cap on like they're supposed to have on, I mean, that's going to create that's going to bring K-State up. That's going to bring everybody kind of back to the level playing field. And then it's going to be real. And that's why everybody loves the NFL. It kind of feels like that, everybody's kind of in baseball is a better example. Everybody's kind of got a shot in baseball. It feels like.
Well, that's the format. I mean, the Dodgers are doing their best to eliminate that, but the format there makes that a little more difficult. Jackson, our pal Jackson Schneider, sent us this another good one. Indiana going into this year, 3 bowl game wins in program history. They had 3 this year, on their way to the national championship. If you want to call those bowl games, which you can if you want to, I guess
it is a weird part now that you can win 4 bowl games in a year.
Yeah,
what?
It's a bowl game. God, our attachment to bowl games just cracks me up. Like what? Okay. But it was an awesome story for Indiana. I found myself for Miami just because I don't want the Big Ten or the SEC to win them right now until we get things settled on how the 16-team playoff's going to look like. Once we're clear of that, I don't really care. It's already better as the Big 12 gets a spot. I'd love for them to have more than one spot, but let's just get there. Let's get there, and let's get to 16 teams, and let's get this thing over with. We should not be talking about college football's national championship game as we're getting ready for the championship weekend in the NFL. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's silly. We're into the next semester. Like, what are we doing?
My biggest gripe about the schedule that you're bringing up here is obviously what you're talking about is 1, but for 2, if you play them earlier, you could play the games on Saturday. Why do we have a Monday national championship game? Play it on a Saturday night.
Agree. It doesn't make it's silly. We don't need to be doing that. That's our buddy Michael Schwanke's biggest gripe. He's like, what are we doing playing these on a Monday? Like, why aren't we like college football is Saturday? Like Saturday is its day. Like what
they play every game of the year on a Saturday until you get to the playoffs.
I'm with Lanning though. Get it done. Wherever New Year's Day falls, play it that day. People aren't working.
Eliminate week 0, move everything back, and start all the games a week earlier, and just roll right from conference championships.
You'll get sometimes you might get 10 days or 11 days before the game, but you can play it on New Year's Day, and you can start the game at like 4 or 5 o'clock, like you do the Super Bowl.
The hard part is that it would kill the Rose Parade on New Year's Day.
Oh, what about the Rose Parade? This is our problem in college football. We could make this thing that's better and makes it awesome, but what about the Rose Parade? That's such a perfect question as to the frustration I have felt about this for so long. What about it? What about the Fiesta Bowl? Like, come on. All right, when we come back, we got more for you. Don't go away. Sports Daily on the other side.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. We're glad to be here with you, Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, on this Tuesday. On your way into work and want to keep listening to Sports Daily even after you park the car with the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com, you can just download the app or visit Odyssey.com and search for KFH. We are back in here now. A lot of things happening overnight. We had that championship game we just talked about. The Bill Self scare of yesterday evening, waiting to get some more information on that as far as timelines and thing like that. We mentioned both K-State, KU play tonight, TJ. We talked to Wyatt Thompson about the game against Utah. You can go back and listen to that on the Odyssey app. How about KU's game against Colorado? This is interesting tonight. KU's only a 4.5-point favorite here. I think that would surprise people. I think it tells us a couple of things. Most importantly, that Colorado is actually pretty good.
Exactly. Right? That's what my point was earlier in the show about, there's 4 teams in the conference probably that they'll be underdogs on against the road. But I mean, I bet they could go to Utah, and Utah's, only going to be a, 6 or 7 point underdog there. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's the thing. It
probably be a little bigger with Utah, but your point is good. My thing
even
is,
K-State on K-State on Saturday, they're not going to be double-digit favorites. There's no way.
Oh, let's see what happens tonight in Utah. We'll see what happens tonight.
Well, yeah, we'll see if K-State loses. Then it'll might sway.
The thing for me with Colorado is I just don't know anything about Colorado. I haven't seen them at all.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
12-6. I know they've been giving people good run. I just don't know, quite frankly, much about them. I know that they've, they should be well coached. They've had good teams in the past. They're kind of hanging in there, but they've lost 3 in a row. So they're kind of getting desperate for a win a little bit. This is a signature win for them if they can get it. I think for KU, the thing for me is, can they just consistently play as well as they have the last couple of games? And this is a great opportunity this week to show us that they can. 2 games on the road. Now we know they won't have Bill Self. That's in a season full of things we didn't expect to be, working through here. If you're a KU fan, the Darren Peterson injury issues, now Bill Self's not with the team for we don't know how long yet. It just kind of continues.
It is.
But a good opportunity for this group to just sort of kind of set all that aside a little bit and try to play through it. It does feel really, really good the last 2 games.
It does feel like the season of storylines for KU. Somebody brought up that point of like, man, KU got the number 1 player in the country, dealt with the stuff, finally have it figured out. It feels like he's the healthiest he's ever been, and then another curveball gets thrown, and now it's like, oh my gosh, is Coach Self okay? Like it's the season of curveballs for KU. It definitely is. But by all accounts, their last 2 times out, they look like a team that could go make a run and beat everybody. And so we'll see if it travels, I think, is the biggest question that I have tonight. We haven't seen him do it on the road yet.
Well, and for Coach Self being out, look, that's a big deal because it has been a challenge to get this group to fit together, working through Peterson stuff anyway. And it feels like just right as they're kind of getting it, right? They're finally finding that groove. Now they have to kind of find it without Coach Self. And that's a bigger deal, I think, for this team than maybe some others we have seen historically, because it is a younger, fresher group. We talk about it all year. This is a team all about just kind of getting there and clicking right at the end of the season. And we are starting to see them click. They don't have their coach now. So
that's true. And
it's certainly not a test you want, but now it's all of a sudden a different kind of test.
It is. And we talk about, this is a weird, example to give, but like we've talked about other coaches that kind of just let guys go. Like Bill Self is the kind of guy that we talk about it. You watch KU play and you're like, look at that set. Like, look at that thing they just threw in. And not that the assistant coaches can't do it, but Bill Self is notorious for stealing buckets because he draws up stuff in the moment and everything like this. So you lose that. I mean, you could make an argument. You lost 8 points off of your sideline without Bill Self out there. So it's another challenge that they have.
I have a sneaky suspicion there will be an added level of motivation for this team to kind of pick him up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, strategically and technically speaking, you're doing it without one of the best that's ever done it. And so this has become an interesting game now. It was going to be interesting anyway, because Colorado has been there and they've been a really competitive team this year, and they are about looking for that win that could punch their ticket when you get there later. And for KU, look, we're not in the clear here with KU either. They're a top 20 net team with 5 losses. They're not totally in the clear. Like, they still need, a few more wins. You're sitting at 3-2 in the Big 12. Like, they're not to coast on in there either just yet.
They're at the point, I think, where they can afford to get upset 2 more times.
Oh, they can get upset more than that as long as they win some big games.
They just have to win the games they're supposed to win, is what I'm saying.
Right. It's just like we can't only think of this team in the terms of the way they've looked in their last 2 games yet. We're not there yet.
The same point that I make there, though. I mean, if KU loses a game to Baylor, is it an upset? I don't think there's really a team that can upset KU outside of maybe a couple.
Utah, any game on the road is not an upset, in my opinion. For a team like KU that's young and still developing, and they haven't it would be fair for me to call Houston getting beat by a lesser team on the road. That can be an upset. I don't think it's fair to say that for KU because they just haven't experienced playing on the road in the Big 12 together very often yet.
Yeah.
Like they're not ready to just know what that's like.
And now I think too, now that sports betting has become so relevant, not that the players care about this, but like whenever I was a kid, I guess you watch the games and it's like, yeah, number 20 just beat number 2. That's a crazy upset. Now it's like, well, I mean, they were only 4-point dogs. You know what I mean? Like now you kind of have more context is what I'm trying to say.
That's not even a tremendous upset tonight. Like,
exactly.
I don't even know if I'd say, I mean, I guess it's technically speaking an upset if Colorado beats K. But again, like let me just pull this up real quick. They've only played 2. I mean, they're only 2 losses, right? Are the 2 road games that they've played. Yeah. So Kansas doesn't even have a Big 12 road win yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So you can't, we can't just assume that they're going to go beat Colorado and then win a rivalry game this weekend. Like they haven't even won a Big 12 road game yet. They've won some awesome games at Allen Fieldhouse, the last 2 specifically. Go win these 2 this week. And that's just sort of the next thing that they need to do to get us where we want to be with this team. But now they have to do it without Bill Self.
Yeah. Right now, their best road win is NC State back in November, basically. And that was a game that now NC State is, kind of hit a little bit of a skid as well. So, not that Colorado is your big prove-it game, but you haven't had the big one on the road yet,
Well, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think that Colorado does Colorado become your best road win? You know what I'm saying?
You could make an argument about it.
I think you can. Yeah. NC State right now is sitting where they sit. They're near the bottom of the ACC, I believe,
which is crazy. I can't believe they're not good.
I mean, they're not like the very bottom or anything. Hang on. I'm trying to find them here. No, they're 30th in the net. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th or 6th, depending on which metric you're looking at. Top 30. So Colorado's not going to be as good as that win. NC State will still be the best win. Colorado's 79 right now in the net. So you're not going to be better than NC State, but it's a conference game, right? Yeah. So as we work our way through it, and the crazy thing is, like, we are still trying to find that stuff. Like normally with a team like Kansas who sits 17 in the net, 19 in Ken Palm, and I said the net, I meant Ken Palm. NC State is 30 in Ken Palm. Like we're not thinking about this stuff. Like but KU's kind of still looking for those signature road wins this year, and this would be one of the better ones they've had. They'll have better opportunities later, but now you got to go back road games. Both of these games this week. I'm not going to say beating Colorado and then K-State, who's really struggled, obviously, on Saturday, is everything we need to see against KU, but winning back-to-back road games is a big deal because they haven't won any road games in the Big 12 yet. Yeah. Like they're still waiting for their first Big 12 road win. You can't undersell, I guess, how nice a win tonight would be for that reason. They're only 4.5-point favorites tonight.
Yeah. I mean, in the same breath, though, by all accounts, the last week has shown you that they need to go. I mean, they should be able to go out and go do what they need to do. And so
So what do we think tonight? What do we think we see? Here's what I think we see. I think with the emotion of whatever, Bill Self's dealing with and however serious that is, here's what it feels like to me. Darren Peterson trying to take the emotional moment and go nuts tonight.
Yeah.
Just a hunch. I could also see the same thing from Melvin Council, though. Like, one of those guys feels like they're going to try to embrace the emotion of everything and just really go nuts that way. I don't know if that's, again, I don't know anything about Colorado, so I don't know if that's the best way to attack them. I really don't. But I think we're going to see a little of that tonight.
The best, emotional tell that I think you could have on tonight's game is that they may come out, they may come out emotional. You know what I'm talking about? You don't have your head coach out there, and they could fall in a hole, and we could see, grind it out game. And again, they're 4.5 point favorite. Like, we could definitely see them having to find their way out of the hole and go get out a gritty win in Boulder at midnight.
I think we'll see a lot of shots taken from Darren Peterson, because you can simplify things with him on the floor offensively, and just say,
yeah, you don't have to run the X's and O's when you have a guy that can just say, go make 15 shots.
And he and Badunga, like, they're all finding a groove a little bit too, and you kind of trust that. And Council has had the ball in his hand more. I think we're finally starting to see those two play as much as anything else we've seen. We're starting to see those two kind of go hand in hand. Simplifying it too. Colorado scores 83 points a game. So Colorado offensively, let me just pull up their metrics on that real quick. But just by points per game, they can score it. So they have, the 62nd best offense in the country. They're not very good defensively this year, according to KenPom. So just be ready to play the kind of defense you play. If you're KU, you really struggled defensively out of the gates. And now in the last 2 games, you've held the opponent under 65 points. You do that again on the road, you'll win this game.
Yep.
So you can start right there. If you're the assistants, if you're whoever, if you're Bill Self shooting a quick text message to the team real quick, it's, hey guys, you play the kind of defense you played the last couple of games. You bring that energy, you'll win this game. Yep. I mean, KU holds opponents under 65 points. They're going to win just about every time they go on the floor, and they're capable of doing it. So we talk about these guys and their scoring and all of these things and how flashy it's been. 100% the turnaround of the Big 12 has come because they've played better defense. Not even close. Like, it's not even a conversation. It's because their defense has been better. And they do it tonight. Stay up late with them. We got a little more Sports Daily for you. We're coming right back.